Hi, this is Gerald Salenti. It's Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, the big trend in the news is the debates coming on. Tonight. We'll see what happens. And our forecast right at this moment is, and again, this is before the debate, Trump 2020 by default. People aren't nuts about Biden. They just don't like Trump. So we believe there's going to be a low voter turnout among young people for Biden, and Trump's going to win the swing states again. It's, again, you look at the cover of the Trends Journal, lockdown versus no lockdown. And on the market front, well, it's mixed over there in Asia, mixed over there in Europe, and it's up a little bit today in the States, and not a lot going on. Here's why gold retreated 1% to near $1,900 an ounce on Thursday on better than expected U.S. job data, with appeal of the metal future weighed down by a stronger dollar and doubts over a U.S. stimulus package before the presidential election. But when you read why oil prices went up, because there are expectations that there'll be a deal. So they're going back and forth on this. And when you look at the facts here, 787,000 people last week showed initial claims for unemployment, and they expected 860,000. That's still a lot. So we believe there's going to be a deal before the election. The dollar's getting stronger. Not really. When you really look at it, it's not up that much. And moving on, September existing home sales jumped 9.4%, and prices are rising too as supply outstrips demands. People are moving away from big cities. This has never happened like this before. And I believe there's still going to be a bounce up in real estate because I could even see lower interest rates, and interest rates are near all-time lows anyway. Copper hits $7,000 a ton for first time since 2019. Chinese economy's going up. China buys over half the copper produced each year. It's the only major economy where you're going to see positive gross domestic product growth this year. Pandemic showed flaws, Fed officials say. The market turmoil triggered by the coronavirus pandemic earlier this year uncovered weaknesses in the U.S. financial system, said regulators of the Federal Reserve Vice Chairman Randall Quarles. Among the Fed's initiatives were programs to produce liquidity to money market mutual funds. Isn't that great? That's why I put that out there. The Fed's job, money market mutual funds, so the gamblers could keep gambling. And this is the new real world. The Federal Reserve, they're not federal. They're banksters doing dirty deals. Economic recovery is slowing, Fed says. And it's saying to pump more money into the system. Economy needs more help. Brainard says. The top Federal Reserve official warned that the economy could face a substandard and uneven recovery without additional government spending to shore up the hardest hit sectors from the coronavirus pandemic. Not from the coronavirus pandemic, from the low-life politicians that closed everything down. And again, more cheap money being dumped into the system. Gold prices should be $10,000 an ounce. Silver should be $300 an ounce compared to all the cheap money that they're pumping into this. But we know the game is rigged, and it's run by a criminal gang, and you saw the reports. We wrote about them. They're in the Trends Journal. You know the news. You saw the J.P. Morgan Chase gang, get caught rigging the precious metals market. They don't want precious metals to go up. In China, pandemic widens the wealth gap. It's the same thing everywhere. The top 1% of households owned about 1/3 of China's wealth, while the bottom 25% had only 1%. All right? Communism? I thought communism, everybody gets the same share. It's
bullshit.
Yeah. And their yuan rise strokes expectation that Beijing will move to cool the rally because the renminbi has hit the strongest level in more than 2 years. Again, the dollar just went up a little bit, but it's been on a downward drift. So they're saying they're going to lower the value of the Chinese currency so they can export more product. Because if your currency is higher than theirs, you could buy their stuff cheaper. I don't see that happening. I think the yuan is going to stay strong, and the reason being is their dual circulation economy. And that means they know that exports are going to slow down because there's a global depression. And things are going to get worse. They're going to go up a little bit, but it's going to go up and down, and up and down, and up and down. So they're building the domestic economy. So they're taking in imports big time. They want to buy the imports cheaper. And when their currency is stronger than the other ones, they buy that other stuff cheaper. Just like they sold out America, you know, the manufacturers and Europeans. Let's get our stuff made over there in China. And we could bring it back, buy it cheap there, and sell it for more here. So that's what they're going to be doing, I believe. I'm forecasting. Europe's second COVID wave raises threats of a double-dip recession. What double-dip recession? You're going into the greatest depression. Oil industry scrambles to survive via mergers. You're going to see more and more merger and acquisitions over and over and over as the bigs buy up everything and all of us become more plantation workers on the global plantation of Slavelandia. New York State projects a $59 billion budget hole. Brought to you by Clown Cuomo and Little de Blasio, the mayor of New York, and the other guy, Cuomo, the governor of New York. How are they going to fill this budget hole? Yeah, we'll raise your taxes. That's how. They're not going to pay this off. It's more of the scam. All the government's doing it, printing more money and going deeper in debt. And that's why I forecast gold, silver, and Bitcoin pop. And I love it, 59 billion. How about 60 billion? Oh no, it's 59 billion. We'll keep the number lower so people think it's less. Latin American air carriers face empty runways as tourists stay home. All over the world, and all the workers, and you know how rich Latin America is, they could afford for the workers not to go to work. All the tourism is dead. And again, this thing is going to continue to escalate because over half of Europe's small firms fear for survival, survey finds. This is a new survey, over half the small and medium-sized companies, which together provide jobs for 2/3 of European workers, fear for their survival in the coming 12 months, according to a survey by McKinsey on Thursday, today. All right? Small businesses go out, the bigs get bigger, the rich get richer, and off with their heads 2.0. You know, we've been saying it over and over the years. PayPal wins go-ahead for Bitcoin payments. From dirty cash to digital trash, don't touch that. And by the way, you can see how the people are still freaking out everywhere with this stuff. And around where I am anyway, and what I see in everywhere I'm reading and looking. So they're going to be afraid to use dirty dollars or whatever, and they're going to go more and more digital so they could track every penny that we spend. I've been saying this for a long time, and it's one of your covers of the Trends Journal. Goldman Sachs agrees to pay more than $2.9 billion to resolve probes into the 1MDB scandal. Goldman Sachs agreed to pay more than to regulators around the world, including a record penalty for violation of U.S. anti-corruption law. Goldman Sachs today accepted responsibility for its role in a conspiracy to bribe high-ranking foreign officials to obtain lucrative underwriting and other business relating to 1MBD. Acting Assistant Attorney General Brian C. Rabbit of the Justice Department Criminal Division said in a release, accept responsibility. Paying a $2.9 billion fine, and nobody goes to jail. Can't anybody see how corrupt this is in front of everybody? As I said, us little people of slave land, you go, we were out last Thursday, a week ago, down in Ellenville, just south of here. Nothing little town, tiny little town. Went to a restaurant, wanted to get out of here. With my buddy Mark Ferraro, the great hairstylist to the stars. And Joe, he has a motel up here, a real Brooklyn cat. We're coming back 11 o'clock at night. We're on Lucas Avenue. 11 o'clock at night, no cars on the road. It's nothing. An old road. Joe didn't make a full stop. All of a sudden, state troopers pull us over. He didn't make a full stop. 11 o'clock at night on an empty road. But these lousy scum who have destroyed our lives, the banksters, robbing us of billions, all the homes and lives that were lost, and they're too big to fail and too big to jail. And as the bigs keep getting bigger, can't everybody see what's going on in front of their eyes? No, don't look. Don't look. Obey your orders. We'll tell you what to do. What a bunch of crap this is. Goldman was accused of helping a corrupt Malaysian financier steal billions. And what else do we have? Moving on. Fearing grave situation, Ireland orders lockdown. Yeah. Fearing grave situation. One country after another, locking down, destroying the lives of the little businesses so they could give the bigs all they want. That's what's going on right in front of everybody's eyes. But don't look at it because Czech Republic acts to relieve pressure on health system. That's the way they use the headline in the Financial Times. And then you read the first paragraph. The Czech Republic announced a swath of new restrictions on businesses and movements in a bid to regain control of the coronavirus pandemic. Under the new rules, most shops will have to close and people will only be able to move around for essential work. And families can't gather, and on and on and on. They're doing it for the bigs. The bigs were allowed to open, remember? Remember Slimeball, Cuomo, and the rest of you? Oh, Walmart's is okay to open. Target's okay to open. The bigs are okay to open, but you close your doors. You do what I tell you to do. Put on those masks and keep masturbating, everybody. Follow their orders. So I make it banned. And I'm going to get banned from YouTube. Just like they're trying to do it to me on LinkedIn. How dare I say masturbation when you're supposed to wear a mask? The experts are telling you. And forget about all the facts, and the facts are in the Trends Journal. Schools all virtual after class. Cases increase in Boston. Boston schools. Again, online learning, it's the future. Disastrous small businesses, college towns, ghost towns. Every town's a ghost town at night. God, there used to be life at night. It's dead at night. No dancing, no singing, no hugging, no kissing. Stay away. Don't come close to me. Don't make love. Look who's telling you to do this. Look at the freaks that are telling you to do this. And he just re-elected that person over there in New Zealand, Oh, how they love her for what she did. Gutless people all over the world. And you better, if you want to know the future, support us. We're doing everything we can to put out the best magazine it is in the world, as far as telling you what's going on, what it means, and what's next. No other trend magazine comes close to it. No other magazine reports what we're reporting. And to support us, because we're fighting. I fight and I put my money in my heart where my mouth is, and you know it. Remember the crap I got for running the rally to restore freedom. And what else do we have here? Purdue admits that it pushed deadly opioid. A guilty plea and an $8 billion settlement. Purdue Pharma, the maker of the opioid Oxycontin, right? Another criminal. Anybody going to go to jail? Look what they're doing. You know how many Americans they killed? 450,000. But watch out for that coronavirus. Watch out for that Keep taking them drugs. Don't get healthy. Don't get healthy. Keep taking them drugs. Watch those drug commercials on TV. Brought to you by that other slimy, murderous bastard, Bill Clinton, who allowed Big Pharma to put their crappy ads on TV. And your side effects will, when you blah, 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 blah. You don't get healthy taking them drugs. Yeah, if you need it, I got bit by ticks. Yeah, give me that, I'll take them. But I get healthy after that. Give me those antibiotics. But everybody's hooked. And look what they're doing. The poisons they put in our food. The poisons they pump into the air. The chemicals everywhere. Filthy water. But watch out for that COVID. Watch out for that COVID. It's going to kill you. Flu shots required at more colleges. And the protests continue in Thailand and Nigeria. When people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. These protests are going to continue to escalate, and they're going to spread beyond borders. And of course, what's going on in Armenia and all the involvement with Azerbaijan, with Turkey, and Russia, and Syria, and then there's Libya, and the world economy going down. It's going to be very tense out there. So do what you can to get in the best shape you can and fight for your freedom. Unless, all aboard, next train to Auschwitz, we'll tell you what to do. No talking back. Put on that mask. Get on board. This is Gerald Salenti, and that's some of today's trends in the news. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.